Good evening and welcome to the stream. My name is Nori. This is the digital engineering server that we are live from. This is modded Minecraft Valhalla 3, and we continue our journey. This is our mess. So I think today we'll just kind of pick up where we left off at. So last time, I guess I got to tell him what to do with that down there. Really should learn to wait, or at least make a motion around so we can avoid some of these lag spikes that show up. Oh, good. We have the glassmaker shop. So last time we built the creates schematic cannon. And then we created a couple of walls. Well, I've been putting in those walls with the schematic cannon. That's turned out to be rather fun, interesting, and I learned some things along the way. And so we'll broach that subject with everybody as we go over there. We'll put some more in there, and I'm testing to see about how far that schematic cannon will reach before it won't do any more. We've done a little bit of work on our tower over there. You can see the watchtower starting to come out. There's some glass. There's what will be a walkway, so we'll put like some lanterns or whatnot up there. Something to give it a little lighted effect. Put some doors in there, and we'll continue to build that up. Need to figure out a way how we expect people to get in, and maybe we might put a walkway that comes down through there. You can kind of back and forth stair climb something. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get closer to that point to worry about it. We did finally looks like, finish up the research on the glass blowers, so we can go put that in. And that will help to take care of a lot of the requests for glass. We put a composter in. So that will help with that. So let's first go take care of those guys. Oof. Would help if I could spell correctly. Glass blowers. Glass. Okay. Easy peasy. I say that. But the trick here is that we have to actually have some glass. I don't think we have any glass. I think I have been raided, and my glass is now all gone. Yeah. I think it's fairly safe to say that we have definitely been raided. I have no glass. We also need to see about making some disk drives to go into this disk cassette here to help with our storage system. Oh, looky there. There we go. All right. Now this is an entirely new building for me. I have never actually put one of these guys up. So the question becomes, is inside or outside? I think we'll go look at what some of the outside builds look like. For those of you who haven't done anything with Mine Colonies, I guess this would be the first time that I've actually put a building down on stream. A lot of these happen when I think about it. And some of these happened when Shale thought about it. A lot of these were put up by Shale. So I think this is a good spot. So let's push this back a little bit because that's going to be too big. So here's a couple of things that I typically try to do. Is I look to see what the level 1 building is going to look like, what kind of dimension it's going to take, how much space does it require. And like this one's too big for anything we're trying to do out here. We're not doing anything with warped, mostly because I don't want to fight with that much. That's a lot of nether gathering stuff. Now, granted, we have a way to make basalt, and that's fine, but the rest of this now just doesn't work. So off from that. Wooden, maybe. Acacia, no thank you. Asian, definitely not. Birch, not a big fan. Now, so a lot of the buildings here are Caledonian style. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of what is going on here for us to do Caledonian. I guess curiosity is what does it look like at level 5? Level 5, this doesn't look too bad. It's nice. It fits in the space well. Somebody thought that was a good idea. It does fit in the space well. It looks like we should probably push it back and over like that by 1, and that would line it up more properly with everything else. And then actually does absolutely nothing to the carrot field. Okay. So that's a building in the running. I think we could do that. I'm curious about the cave just because, well, I've been doing a lot of building inside at the cave, and I like the cave just because it tends to, holy cow. That gets big. I mean, that gets really big very quickly. Well, I'm not digging out all that much space. So the answer to the question is we will stick with the Caledonian. All right. So once you've got your whatever you want picked out, decided on, that sort of thing. You get it lined up where you want it at. Make certain everything's the way you want it. Now, if you want it set in the ground, you can. If you want it set lower, you can even push it down lower. And all that would mean is that the digger would, or not digger, but the build guy would come through here and unearth that and dig it up. Now, because this has a stairway that leads up into it, I'm actually going to let basically that last row sit right on top of that. And then anywhere that you see these, like, they look like tennis rackets or whatnot. I don't. These are generic blocks that he's just going to kind of leave alone. So whatever they are to begin with, and if they're not anything, then he'll make them dirt. So he'll have a little bit of digging to do, which won't be too terribly bad. He'll replace that with some cobblestone around the outside. I mean, we could help him out a little bit, but he should be able to get just about everything he needs from all the stuff in the warehouse and the other providers. So that being said, this looks good. We're happy with that, so we'll set it down. The next phase is to come over here, right click, and then, so this is how you interact with the block for the hut. This is how you'll interact with the builders, not the builders, but the people working here. After the building's been built, you have to build the building to the first level. After that, then you can assign workers to it, and you can start messing with the workers, including teaching them how to do crafting recipes, stuff to smelt, fuel to use, that sort of thing. So we'll take and we'll build. We'll call our builder. Now, I like to call the ones that are closest to it. In this case, I know this is Nyla. And that's just because her building's outside. Once you've picked your building, now you could opt not to pick the building. Just leave it at that. And what the system will do is pick the first available builder, and that's the builder they'll send over here. I like to keep the builders working on builds that they're close to. So does Shale. That's actually something I learned from Shale. It turns out that does, in fact, pick up performance as far as the build goes. And they'll build it a little faster. And so at this point, you can either hit the build building, which would lodges it into the builder's queue and gets them started on it. Or if you're not happy with the placement, you can hit the pick up. If you hit pick up, you get the block back in your inventory and you can reset it back down again. So in this case, we'll just hit the build building and away it goes. And you can see down in chat message, it's told me, hey, the request has been put in and somebody will be out here to build it in a little bit. Now what we can do is come in for a nice gentle landing. Oh, go away. We didn't ask for you to come visit us. I don't like zombie visitors. So all of our colonists are tucked in the bed, so we'll come over here. We'll cop a spot. We'll sleep. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, we have put feral lights up all over the place. Why have I not put feral lights over here? Because I actually plan on doing a huge mob spawner in here. Mob farm. Though I may not. I don't know. I've been tossing it back and forth. But the minute you put the feral lantern up in here, it lights up the whole area. And so while the Blaze farm won't really care, some of the other farms will care, and I don't want to have to try and scrub it out later. I could get some torches and torch spam up here, but I'm just not a big fan of torch spam, so I haven't really done that either. And so I haven't decided what I'm going to do, and so it just sits. In case you were at all curious. Interesting thing, the artillery farm doesn't tick anymore. That's basically because we're waiting for this tree to grow up. When it does, it will cause that piston to pull this back in here, which will cause it to tick. At that point, the tree cutter will cut down the tree. As soon as the tree cutter does, it will spit out another sapling and then push the observer away. So it just doesn't sit there and tick nonstop. It only ticks when it needs to, and that is when it needs to plant a tree. I don't think I actually have any place for you, dude. But I'm not really certain how you got up here. So there you go. So let's move back in here. We have the glass blower shop going. Let's see if... Okay, the action will be a big deal. Yeah, there. So far everything looks like it's going well. We don't have to do too much. Though it may not be a bad idea to get some iron and feed it down into our people downstairs. Now this is my way of doing this. I have a little water channel that actually runs all the way down and goes downstairs and then tucks in behind a stash box downstairs. So it makes it easy just to make whatever we need upstairs and then throw it down to them. Let's see. I do believe we're probably going to need some wood and some sticks, because I don't think anybody down there knows how to make campfires. So we should probably put at least one of those in the... And yeah, come on. I know this word. I promise I do. In the warehouse. There we go. Put one of those in the warehouse. Because I think it's going to at least need one. And I may even try to figure out who we teach to do that to, just so I don't have to do it later on. But for now, I can just shuffleboard that down there. There's no room in that box. That's the other thing, is I need to make some more parts for that refined storage so that I can start cleaning up some of these boxes and tuck all this stuff away. I just haven't done it yet. So I know. I say no. I think I know. We'll just go take a little flight over here. I'm really happy with the way that the wall designs have worked out. And the schematic cannon lets us flip it around and everything else. So we've been able to kind of keep this from being, you know, the same thing over and over again. Works out really nice. Let's see. So we need more of these. We need more stone bricks. We're going to need some more stone. I think we're actually pretty good on that. So let's go see about getting some stone and stone bricks. And cracked stone bricks. Those are the things that we need. All right. And so this will get us 4 stacks of stone. I think we'll do 8 stacks. Yeah, we'll do 8 stacks, because then we can do 2 stacks of regular stone into the box. We can do a couple stacks of the regular, and then at least 2 stacks of the cracked that we'll have to go get that made. Now, unfortunately, the recipe for cracked stone brick doesn't work unless you've got mechanism. If you looked in here for cracked stone brick, this doesn't work. This actually makes smooth stone brick. I haven't tried this one yet. And I don't have an arc furnace, so I haven't been able to try that one yet. But this doesn't work. I haven't tried baking. I haven't really tried this one yet. But I haven't done too much down industrial for going. Let's see. I haven't tried the crusher yet, but the energized smelter I know works. I haven't tried the enrichment chamber yet. Of course, I could always go to the stone smelter and probably have her do it. That's actually probably not a bad possibility. Only I have to make certain I give them lots of stuff to cook that stuff with. So I think I'm just going to go with couple streams, I think 3 or 4 streams back, we were building in our little mansion up here, and we put in a basement with a nuclear reactor. So we'll come down here and see what we have. I don't think we actually have that stone in here. I gotta remember that there's that here. But no, I don't see any cracked stone bricks anywhere. So did we make a crusher? Yes, we did. So let's do this, because I know we're going to need at least this much. Just like that. And like that. And so we'll keep those. We'll put one in there. And so if the crusher actually works, then this should be cracked stone brick on the other side. If it is, yay. That gives us 2 machines that will make cracked stone brick. And it is. So we'll just put the rest of that in there. And here's the smelter. And so we'll give him the rest of that. And then we'll check our power system. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but, you know, these guys are not exactly tearing it up with energy usage. So there we go. All right, let's go drop these off. We need to grab, oh, that's right, let's not forget. Need to go and grab. I also need to figure out a way to open and close that nice and quickly. I'll figure that out later. So let's go get us some light gray cement. Because we'll want at least another stack of that. Go with the other stuff down over there. And so did we get the message? No, we haven't gotten the message yet. Wonder. Oh, trap door. So we have a recipe. We have to go teach somebody. All right. Now, let's go. I'd say wait for everybody to get to bed, but I should have been in bed already. All right, who got stuck? There we go. Takes these guys forever to get to bed. I've got to go down there and reevaluate where people are sleeping at versus where they're working at. That's the other thing that causes this to take a little longer. Further they are from their work, the longer they have to run. It takes them longer to get there. Also tends to make them a little bit complainy. Yeah. That should be enough to get us going. I'll come back and get the rest later. Should probably just make the upgrades for it, and then so it'll go faster. But I haven't really settled into doing a lot in the way of mechanism, and I'm not really ready to settle into it, because I think when I do, I want to go through and actually make a lot of the big mechanisms, which means that what we'll probably end up doing is this area back over here, because it takes some fairly substantial machines. This area, and there probably I'll need to go and find me. I think there's a, oops, wow, I got really far out there. Yeah, there's the deserts over here where we'll have to go and make some of the other machines to support it. And so because of that, I just haven't not ready to deal with that just yet. We will go to deal with it. We'll have lots of fun. There will be lots of headache as I try to figure out how to make certain that the separators and generators and everything else are doing what they're supposed to do. But now is not one of those times. So we need to teach an oak trapdoor. So there we go. And the nice thing about it is as soon as you teach one of these guys the thing they're supposed to make, the request goes away. Why? Because they stop expecting it from you and they ask somebody else. Which means they typically get whatever they want because he just asked for oak and oak got delivered, or he made the trapdoors as soon as I taught him how. And so that was guy come and pick it up. You don't know, whichever way it works. So we'll throw that in there. We're going to grab our schematics. Check our cannon. And it has an empty schematic in it. That's fine. But it looks like we're still good for shots. So last stream, we did a couple walls. And then we learned the schematics. So this is where it gets fun. So all you have to do is the blue square is the outline of the box where it's going to lay everything down to the build at. So we'll right click that into position. Here it puts the wall up. We can see the wall. If we want to make adjustments to it, you can even it'll show up here as being here. It's technically not. But you can still see it and look at it. And if you don't like the way that's lined up, you can hold Alt. You can move around to the various odd ones. So like what I've been doing is just kind of rotating this stuff around. And then if I go, yeah, I like the way that looks. We're happy with that. We take the paper. And we go all the way back to our schematic cannon. Put it in the schematic cannon. We hit the play and watch that thing fire blocks halfway across the world. And so watch this thing just rivet the. So it's actually got a fairly good range. And while that's working, I'm going to take 5 seconds real quick and we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. You know, call of nature is call of nature. But There we go. The wall's all put together. And we're nice and happy. Now, about the biggest complaint I have about this, but I guess it makes sense from a programmer's aspect, is the fact that it wipes out the schematic here. Yeah, one thing of gunpowder actually does an awful lot. So this is not very expensive in the way of making gunpowders. So you have to make certain that you keep the schematic table nearby when you're doing a lot of these builds. I suppose if you're doing one, it's fine. But if you're doing like in this case, multiple sections of a wall, you need to keep the thing nearby. So that's 2 there. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Oh, I think I grabbed the same wall pattern. That's okay. Let's do it like this. And we'll run it back. We'll drop it in the machine. And let them rip again. So this is actually very kind of satisfying watching this thing rip fire all these blocks across the way like it is. But I imagine that there is some limit to how far it'll actually go. I don't know what that limit is. I've been kind of curious, and so I've been trying to figure that out. And so I've kind of left it right where it's at to see exactly how far it would go. And could I get it to go all the way to the corner and then do the other side all the way to the mountain side? And if it does, hey, great. It's fabulous. That is definitely a good range on that cannon. Somehow I don't suspect it'll get that far. All right. So we need, I think, wall 1. We've been putting up a pair of 2s. Let's see how much. Yeah, looks like we got enough still. So let's grab a wall 1. And go stick it out here. Now, yes, you could actually just sit down there, come here, make a bunch of wall patterns, whatnot, figure out how you want it done, lay the whole thing out, and then just feed them one whatever at a time. Absolutely could do that. That is totally a possibility and well within your realms of doing that. Did I seriously just make the same one again? I did. Ugh. That is interesting. So the answer is yes, you can relocate it. That works well, so I don't put the same wall back up again. That is a wall 1. Either that, or I've been really talented and I've managed to make the same schematic twice for both wall 1 and wall 2. All right. So That's in place now. Do a little quick sleep because everybody's in bed. I really would like to get the glass blower done so we can get some more of those students with jobs. Let's see. I think we'll just leave that one as it is. Will work out well. Eventually, I want to come back through here and add more to this. I'm just kind of trying to put the big portions down. It's just fabulous. And then you can see on the map, if I can zoom in a little bit on this, so you can see where we're building in the corner up here on top of the mountain as well as the tower. That's starting to show up a little bit there, which is great. Sign that it's done. I wonder if let's not say we did. Yes. So we now have a glass blower. Oh, good. We can go deal with that momentarily. So we'll put that there. Maybe we'll give it a little flipperoonie. That looks good. Run back over here. That is quite the reach. So I guess if you made enough, you probably could just stack this thing up fairly deep. Now, the nice thing is this thing, when it runs out of whatever it needs to put the blocks over there, it'll actually just stop. Tell you what block it needs. As soon as you provide it, it'll go right back to working again until it either A, runs out completely, or B, gets the thing done. So as long as you continue to give it, it will continue to build. Now, in the interface, I don't know if anybody noticed, but you can actually put a book here, and it'll give you a list of all the parts necessary to build the thing that you want it to build. So if you're doing an especially big build, because what's nice about that is it apparently works off from schematics that are stored on your local hard drive. So you could go into a single player world or a creative world, build your structure, whatever it happens to be, save it to a create schematic, and then come back into your multiplayer world or whatnot, feed it to your schematic cannon, and then let it actually build the building or tell you all of the stuff that you need to go collect for it. Either way is very nice. Interesting. Manage workers. So let's hire Lionel for this place. That's endstone dust. We don't have any endstone dust. Oh, I always do this the wrong way. Just look up sand. I'll teach him how to make glass, because he's going to need to know how to make glass. And for fuel, we'll let him use coal and charcoal. And we can teach the rest of that. Build option. So this is how you upgrade. Now the big thing and important thing is once you put a house down, don't change this. Don't hit this left and right. And you can. When you're still in the process of putting it down, you want to do that first build. But after that, you can't change that. And you don't want to change it after you put it down. You haven't told them to build it the first time because that just changes the rest. Yes, you get a different set of recipes, but that changes what building you're actually going to get. And so if you're trying to get a specific building and a look, you don't want to change that when you first put the block down. Now, we are going to do an upgrade. Get this to level 2. So we'll ask for the upgrade. And then, much like the build, we just say, hey, make the upgrade, and then wait for somebody to come along and do it. Now, because I know for a fact that this is going to become a thing, where's the lumberjack at? Always leaves a mess. I believe the campfire can be built by this guy. Campfire. Yep, carpenter, sawmill, whatever. Stick. So with JEI and structural and in this, you can actually just drag and drop. You don't actually have to have the required ingredients. Let's make this out of spruce. Because I think, oh no, you know what? We can do this out of dark oak. I think we have a bunch of that too. So there we go. There's some dark oak. And we can let him learn how to do dark oak. Now, the one thing that we should figure out is who can make the charcoal. Stone smelter. Oh, good. So let's go teach the stone smelter how to make charcoal. Because he's going to be the guy who's going to be supplying everybody with all of the fuel they need. And that'll give some usage to all of the logs and wood that the logger guy has been chopping down. Smelting recipes. Let's teach. Do dark oak. And let's also do birch. Yeah, birch won't hurt. And so that'll give him. Did I tell him fuel that he can use? Yeah. I turned on fuel for him. All right, so that should take care of that particular problems. And this is the other guy who wanted to know what he could compost. So I have no idea what you can compost, dude. How about potatoes? I'm not really doing much with potatoes. Have some potatoes. I should probably go see what all stuff is floating in. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go see what all we've been collecting in the warehouse. Getting distracted here. Be all right. Let's see. Potatoes. I suppose we can give them carrots too. A bunch of that. I'll take the treasure. Oh, let's see what's in the message bottle. So looks like potatoes and carrots. Looks like a good. Oh yeah, potatoes and carrots. I'll let him compost those. Because all that's going to do, I think he'll make fertilizer out of that. Or dirt. I don't know. We'll see. Potatoes on carrot. I'll let him have carrots too. And take him along to do that. Now, I guess the question is, and we can go look that up real quick. Fertilizer. Now, I don't think that's the fertilizer they want. Mine colonies. That's the fertilizer. Oh, it's called compost. What is this good for? I can compost it dirt. At this particular point, who knows? But we're making it now. So, there you go. Now we need to go and sleep because it is now dark time. Ow. And I just face kinetic force. Yeah, so I need to get that set up so that it just opens on its own. I think that would be cool. All right. There is the... You know what? I can go there for right now. I'll do something with it. This turned out to be a fun little thing. Oh, look, and the colonists all just went to sleep. So, there you have it. We have a composter, we have a glass blower. We are upgrading the glass blower. We should probably upgrade the composter. The other things that I had on my list of stuff that I would like to eventually get taken care of. I'm curious. Did it remember where I put it down at over here? It looks that way. Yeah. So this is the part where I either have to trim this down so that the wall can stay on that same even kiln, or we take it up. Just hadn't figured out which direction I wanted to go with that. All right. Yeah, I'm thinking I may just take it up. So I'll put some blocks here and then push it up and then push it up again and then run it level across here and then let it go down that way. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to ultimately probably end up doing. But we'll answer those pressing questions and whatnot on another day. I'd only really planned on streaming for a little bit. This has been a little bit. So I think we'll call it good here. Oh, look, the tree cut itself. And then the thing that happens on occasion does. And that is it fails to reset itself. So it just keeps ticking there. And that's not that big of a deal because next tree that grows, it'll cut. It'll shuffle things around and it eventually gets itself straightened out. And today was not one of those days. I need to figure out what I'm going to do in here. I don't like this roof. I have been looking at this and this very flat roof I am not been a big fan of. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do for that. But all of those will be for future episodes. And we will look into doing that. So, but I think we're going to call it there for tonight. We do thank you all for coming out, visiting, and having fun with us. And if you're catching us later on after the stream, well, we look forward to seeing you next time. Again, we are still doing our Wednesday night modded Minecraft, so we will be back on here kicking tomorrow for some more fun and adventure. I think because it is Wednesday night, it is adventure night. So maybe we'll see about either going and stomping around because I still need to get stuff to make a beacon to finish out the Guardian farm. So we may go stomping around in the Nether looking for wither skeletons, get their skulls. That could be fun. Or we may go back to Blue Sky and go stomping around out there to look for one of the dungeons that spawn out there. That too could also be fun. And there, of course, there is the Twilight Highlands we could go visit and look for another boss to kill. We've already killed the Naga, so it's whoever's next in sequence here. I think it's the Lich King. And those towers tend to be rather interesting. So that's another possibility. So we have a couple of things that we could do. We could also go and explore some more end cities for adventure nights. It wouldn't be bad to have a second set of elytra wings or something floating around just on the case that you need to hurry up and get back to your body. You died in an awkward spot. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have another set of wings floating around somewhere. So there's all kinds of choices and decisions to make. And as soon as we figure out what it was, we can have that conversation and we'll have a look-see at what we're going to do for that tomorrow. But until then, I am Nori, and we have been live from the Digital Engineering server. This has been RMS. Take care, have fun, and have a good night. Bye.